murder of Kitty Genovese in New York City, where something on the order of 40 people heard that young woman in the street screaming, "Help, help, he's stabbing me." And none of them, until well after it was too late, even picked up a phone to call the police. The Kitty Genovese case became a byword for urban anomie, for the "I don't want to get involved" syndrome. And it didn't end in 1963, it happens now. You want those witnesses pointed out, so their testimony, presuming that they'll tell the truth, is going to be preserved. Having pointed out the witnesses and all that, you're going to be barraged with questions. Once you start going down that rabbit hole, you'll find out where the advice "never talk to the police" came from. For one thing, the officers, the investigators, are going to ask you questions in the order in which those questions occurred to them. And your answering in that sequence creates a false illusion of you establishing a time frame that things happen in this sequence, this sequence, this sequence. When you later try to explain the actual sequence of events, it sounds as if you're contradicting yourself, and they can make you look like a liar. You can expect to be asked questions like, "How many shots did you fire?" I have been debriefing gunfight survivors since the early 1970s, and I can still count on my fingers the number who kept count of their shots accurately when it went beyond, say, 4 or 5. Ammunition inventory control is very low on the mind's list of priorities when you're fighting for your life.
Correct.
They'll ask, how close was he, or how tall was he, or how big was his knife or his gun. Tunnel vision occurs in a significant majority of people involved in this sort of encounter. And one effect of tunnel vision is it creates the literal optical illusion of the opponent and his weapon being larger than they are and closer than they are. If your opponent looked 6'6" when you fired, and you said he was 6'6", and it turns out he was only average height like me, it looks to people who've never been in that kind of condition right crisis as if you're a liar. But hear me on this. The real reason that everyone is told never talk to the police, the advice comes primarily from defense lawyers. Who do they defend? Well, if you work in the criminal justice system as an attorney on either side or as a law enforcement officer, you know that the vast majority of the accused, the arrested, are in fact guilty, either guilty as charged or guilty as a lesser included offense. What could the attorney tell that typical client to say that wouldn't either be a lie that destroys his credibility, guarantees his conviction, and may add a charge of perjury, and even open that attorney to a charge of subornation of perjury, the implication that he knew the man was going to lie and still put him on the stand, which is a Class 4 felony itself where I come from and would cost that attorney his license to practice law. So, of course, they tell them never talk to the police. You may have seen, and if you haven't, you should see, the viral video, "Never Talk to the Police," by a law professor from Virginia. It sounds authoritative. Hey, a professor of law told me never talk to the police. Watch it again. Take notes. Notice how many of those cases where the guy talked to the police and went to prison, the guy was, in fact, guilty. So if you're guilty, I'd say, yeah, don't talk to the police. Talk to your attorney. Don't talk to the police unless you're willing to give up an even bigger, guiltier criminal and plea bargain for a good deal with the cops and the prosecutor. If you have not established from the beginning what evidence to look for, that evidence may be lost forever. If you have not pointed out the witnesses whose testimony...
I gotta stop him here. That is perhaps the dumbest fucking thing I have heard him spit out of his... Don't get me wrong. He was saying some great shit before he got to that video with that guy. And I know who he's talking about, the defense attorney. That was an outstanding video.
Yeah.
Never mind whether they were actually guilty or not. This is about protecting your rights, especially in this day and age where the heavily politicized situations, you could find yourself going to jail. You could find yourself getting convicted. You may not get justice until the appellate process. And to sit here and say, if you're not guilty,
just talk.
Just talk. Are you fucking serious?
You mean people talk themselves into jail?
And then the irony of this is that this man, Masaad, damn it, are you losing it? Are you freaking losing it? You used to be a police officer, if he already still is. One of the first things that police officers do when they get in a use of force situation, they ask for their union representative. And there is a case called Garrity versus New Jersey. If I was still in internal affairs and I wanted to I wanted to force the testimony of an officer, I would have to give them a Garrity warning that if you don't say something to me, then you will lose your job. And so that testimony would be forced out of the officer under duress of them losing their job. But what's the problem with forced confessions? It violates the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution because no person shall be compelled to be a witness against themselves in a criminal trial. So the only way I could force a conversation is if I know, in fact, we are not going to be forwarding this case to the state's attorney for further review for criminal charges. I can't believe.
I'm trying to figure out why we got to worry about pointing out exact witnesses when everybody with a cell phone is going to tell you what the hell happened. Because they're going to post it on social media for you right then and there. Or, oh, God, I don't know. Like I said, it's just, I think making this overcomplicated is my issue with the whole video. I feel like he's overcomplicating this about the whole 5-step thing because, in my personal opinion, you saying that you're willing to cooperate with the investigation, why is that not part of 5? Wouldn't my lawyer articulate that I'm going to be, that I'm okay with participating with the investigation? Wouldn't pointing out witnesses and evidence be 1 step 2? I'm like, dude, and like I said, I hate that first term, the active dynamic. Dude, stop it. I'm not telling you shit. I'm not going to drop down on myself. Here's my name. Here's my phone number. Here's my driver's license. Here's my concealed carry card. Yo, after this, I'm not answering another question. I invoke my Fifth Amendment rights and would like to speak to my attorney or an attorney to further help this investigation. Now, if that good verbiage, I don't know. You want to keep talking to me? I've been through a very stressful encounter and I would like to seek medical attention. If they want to jump in the ambulance with you, get an IV. Now I'm under the influence. You can't talk to me no more. Well, there's only saline. I don't know how saline affects me. I feel woozy.
Michelle said it. Watching A&E's accused, guilty or innocent, has examples of people that have talked themselves into prison. Whether you agree with what happened to Ahmaud Arbery, Travis McMichael, and Gregory McMichael, I'm telling you, Travis and Gregory McMichael talked themselves into their own conviction. Both of them were former law enforcement officers, and they thought the good old boy system, right? I've worked with these guys before. I live in this area. We're all the same. And they are just blabbering off at the mouth into that body camera. You are not testifying and speaking to just the officer. You are speaking to that independent witness that you heard the prosecutor say it herself from their own mouths. And they were extremely descriptive. They literally did everything Masaad Ayoob said, and that was the best evidence the state of Georgia used against them to convict them. This is not about whether it's right or wrong. I'm just talking about the facts of the case from the prosecutor's own mouth.
Yep. Like who's old enough to remember radio stations when it was like, what's the phrase that pays? You know what's the phrase that pays for that McMichael case? We would trap them like a rat. That phrase right there, we trapped him like a rat. That was the phrase that pays. Now get your ass in jail.
I'm telling you.
And then you have the confidence and audacity. And I'm going to call it what it is. You, in your mind, was so privileged. And don't get it twisted. Privilege ain't got no skin tone. Y'all just keep playing games. Every month, every individual group has a privilege. I got privilege hit today. I got privilege hit today so bad that I actually said it out loud. Oh, your privilege is showing. Because I'm in a black suit with a white shirt and a black tie standing next to a valet waiting to get my car. This woman walked up to me and said, hey, I reserved my parking online. This is my vehicle over there. And I asked her, I said, hey, you must never been to this place before, have you? Oh, I've been here multiple times. Then you will know the people here don't wear suits. All they do from time to time, your privilege is showing because you're lying. You could have just easily apologized, but you lied. McMichael, instead of taking an attorney, instead of waiting 48 hours, instead of doing everything that is preached in most concealed carry classes, your privilege, I'm a cop and I'm talking to other cops. Excuse me. I'm a former cop talking to other cops. Your privilege is showing because there's no reason why you should have waited not 1 hour, not 30 minutes, not 1 hour. You waited 2 hours after shooting somebody to go talk to the cops? Bruh, your privilege is showing. Because I'm going to tell you like this. Mike already said it. What do you think? Who do you think is the best people to talk to about not talking to cops?
Boy.
People from the hood.
Boy.
Why? Because we know we don't have privilege.
Man.
Who else knows this? Educated people who understand the law. John, I don't know if John from the hood, but John got enough street smarts and common damn sense to, I don't know, shut the hell up for the next 48 hours.
51st and Oakley.
Rest of my case, he is from the hood then. So, again, I hate this. Matter of fact, think about this. And I didn't even know that right now because think about this one concept. The 3 instructors that are talking to you right now all came from the hood.
I'm in the hood
all
right
came
now.
from the hood.
Oh
so not only do we have what we like to call
I'm fine with it, John Wick. Matter of fact, block John Wick Wayne. Matter of fact, I got him.
Not only do we have,
like
I said, so you got 3 people from the hood. But again, we have street smarts and book smarts. So don't get it misunderstood that we finna get caught slipping just because we have degrees and backgrounds in education. We still got street smarts enough to realize that situational awareness is your biggest tool and your biggest weapon against anything. But again, privilege or the need to run your mouth can get you in trouble. It really can. I do not agree with that man talking about you need to be as descriptive as possible on what happened and why you did shit with who. And again, I have maximum, I'm going to say it again, and it's recorded. I have maximum respect for Masaad Ayoob.
Oh, hell yeah.
But your privilege is showing.
Boy,
your privilege is showing because you want to be that talkative.
Boy.
You relying on the fact that you have a history, a background, and as some of these, some of the comments have showed, You have respect in the community. That's what you going with. The average person don't have that. That's why we tell people to close your mouth and get an attorney. Because you don't have that same thing. You don't have the same thing that most people have. Like most people, like for example, if what's his name? If Tim Kennedy was involved in a shooting today,
Yeah.
versus if John was involved in a shooting today, that's two different people. Two different people, and one of the two people I mentioned, has a full privilege. Former Navy SEAL, correct? Was
Who are we talking about?
Kennedy?
No, he
What
was
he,
sniping.
Ranger?
SF.
SF. Special Forces. You got T-shirts, you got dialogue, you got training thing, you got the whole nine. There's not a person in this world that don't know Tim Kennedy. But I put money that the conversation with Tim Kennedy versus talking to John is two different conversations. Two different conversations if they were involved in shootings.
Yep.
That's why, again, what we say is not for any specific class of people.
Yeah.
It's for people.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's all that is. And the thing is, yeah, I met Masaad. I still got his class notes. I'm trying to go to Force Science. You know, I'll sit in the class with Masaad all day, but I just can't agree with this because, you know, the hood experience, and it's a difference between where he was the police at, you know, and then being on active homicide scenes where you got, it's so much chaos going on. If you think there's chaos in a homicide in a town that doesn't normally get homicides, and you got bystanders and people like that, it's not going to be that simple to sit there and just listen. Demetrius, he saw the shit. You're going to die. As soon as you tell that Demetrius saw that shit, they going, and all of a sudden you done. You are fucking done. You might get
I'm sorry, that's wrong.
Yeah. All you got to do is watch people like Crime Chaser. I'm going to shout his name out. No need. Crime Chaser on Facebook or Chicago Crime Chaser. When they go, you see what I'm saying? See how hectic stuff is. It's nah, man. It's not the same. And I'm saying Masaad's got a lot of great content. So y'all go follow Masaad. Look at some of his old work, new work, present work. Shouts out to the man.
His classes are phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's a wealth of knowledge.
Shit.
But guess what? All instructors don't agree with each other all the time.
And I believe all of us are ILEADA members. And I know we'd have been to the conference. I know I have. I know Marquise has. Yeah. John, I believe you've been. Yeah, we've all. And Masaad presents.
I got many certifications from ILEADA.
Man, I'm telling you, Masaad presents, and Marquise got a picture when he
Masaad's going to the Israel range.
Right, and then you know what I'm saying.
He stay at the Israel range.
Right. Yeah.
And Tim Kennedy will be at Aurora.
Yeah, we see how much that class is though.
They're already sold out.
You see how much that class was though?
Oh yeah, both of them.
Yeah,
with all due respect,
we do.
Unless I'm gonna go twerk, I'm not gonna pay that type of money for no class.
Speaking of twerks, okay, let me stop. All right, so that's all. I mean, I don't want to keep. You said which classes? You said which classes have you taken from Mass? Dude, I gotta go get the fucking notes.
Mag 20, Mag 40, and what was the next one after that? Mag 80? Mag 80.
I sat on panels just to listen to him talk.
Yes. And he does a panel about the use of force.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does a panel on the use of force. That was one of the first classes that I attended, and my notes are in my office. I still got them. And I attended ILEADA. The last ILEADA conference I went to was 2017. I hadn't been back.
Damn.
Yeah, I haven't been back. I'm going to next year's conference. Yeah, it's in St. Louis. I drove there.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get back in. It's just trying to get stuff done is harder, only based on the fact that now I'm doing more stuff on the security side of the house. So it's like,
I see you out there. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and those were like 12-hour days.
yeah. All right. So, Christy, if you could drop the StreamYard or at least pin the StreamYard link. I don't know if you might have access to that. I'll drop the link. If anybody wants to come up and you got a cam up and ask a question or whatnot, I'll open it to that. Anything relative on the topic of like talking to the police and what are some best practices and some scenarios. I don't mind. That's okay. I don't mind dropping the link. Go ahead.
And see, and I keep thinking about the video. So okay, so like for example,
Yeah, it's Panther.
something I teach my students, we call it the 4C checklist, which we're talking about cover, communication, combat breathing, and condition.
Yeah.
You know, when we talk about cover, okay, so I'm about to be involved or I'm involved in a shooting. What do I really want first before I even draw this gun? I want some cover.
Yeah.
Say some type of barrier of some sort.
Right. I need something for that. Communication. You know, do I have the ability to use my cell phone to call for help, get the cops, do whatever I have to do? You know, something like that. Combat breathing. I want to make sure that I'm ensuring that I'm taking deep breaths while I'm engaged in this, because now you're looking at the fact that most people will be holding their breath, their eyes constrict, and damn near pass out because they're not understanding what the hell is going on. And condition, what's the condition of your firearm? What's the condition of your mind? Hell, this is something that criminals don't do that good guys do. Are you okay? Was anyone hurt? Did you get shot? Man, did you see this? I'm communicating and I want to know the condition of the people around me. Criminals wouldn't care about that. Imagine that being recorded. You just shot someone, and in the process, someone's recording you asking if everyone else is okay. You know, that's something that doesn't happen